Los Angeles, and they've definitely got something to prove, Hex, because they're heroes, essentially. They're going up against them.
Games is Neko. He's going to be playing very much the Zenyatta role.
It's just business as usual. They're not the ones feeling any pressure right now.
They play such a defensive style, robotic, and it's just perfect. All gears are working at...
Last season, he did really have Jonak syndrome. He was just like, guys, we're gonna... Jonak was able to influence the entire season. All the teams in it, all the players, they looked at him, they're like, how do we play like this guy? And all the Zenyatas in particular were looking at this guy like, I want to be Jonak. Get all of my team support in the blink of an eye, be the guy who's dealing the most damage, getting all the kills.
They play around Jonak. He's the centerpiece of the team, and they know that.
Busan.
Interesting stuff comes out here.
We actually get to see damage dealers, you're right. Snipers as well. Stellar going to be kicking things off on the Widowmaker. Nene on the other side, Widow of his own. So we will have two snipers in play. No big shock with this particular roster composition just because it is hard here for New York. They're getting all of the valuable kills to kick things off, and they should be controlling the point first, putting the Defiant on the back foot already.
They got a kill on a Jonak who was on the Ana, but it is going to be New York taking first control at this point. Nane takes down Envy too, which is not an interaction you see too often, as Envy has the ability to be invisible, working their way up to some abilities. Already a little bit better start for the Tracer and Sombra player for Toronto. Last time they tried this strategy, they didn't really get up to Pulse Bomb and EMP, which are so important for those heroes.
That's the key. It is the key. It's what they're all about. And speaking of EMPs, there's a monster one right into the thick of things. Already with all of the kills, Defiant, they go through the door and they meet a horrible death. No way for them to get anywhere near this point. They go already farming up that EMP, back up to 30%. So that is going to be the key thing for these Sombras. Focus on getting that EMP up as quickly as possible. And as soon as either team show themselves, boom, you have to drop it and you have to win that fight decisively.
We call it farming the ultimate, meaning you're just trying to do damage. You're not necessarily going for kills. So Sombra will appear behind a tank, do a lot of damage, and make sure that the EMP comes up. But you started off with a pick on a Tracer. Already a good fight.
Another crowd controlling ultimate, or at least one that's going to zone them out. The mines go down, dropped in by Mano. And so that's, once again, forcing Defiant back. Envy, just wondering, where's my team? He's on the other side of the map.
A little bit scattered about here. Libero's going to get a late kill as well. Those ultimates I mentioned earlier are online now for the Toronto Defiants. Envy with EMP, Pulse Bomb also ready. So we'll see where this EMP wants to come off. They have to use it. Already 75 nearly on the board for NYXL.
He's in point. Oh, gets spotted though. Does manage to recall quick enough. That was so close. The stun combo not quite enough to eliminate Envy. So he's already at half, and we lose Meko in the process. So a man advantage now for Defiant. Gets traded back. Jonak gonna find the kill on Envy. Once again, that EMP not gonna be a part of this fight. Nene looking for it, misses the shot. Now may have missed his opportunity. As you can see, the shields are up, and Ivy, with the focus, takes the Widow out of the fight.
It's a good punish, but they're not getting enough. That's only their third kill of the round. Meanwhile, NYXL still on the point, only down one. Nane's going to be able to come back on Tracer, so they're not even going to be uneven for a while. Mine should zone them out. EMP as well. Desperation time for Toronto.
It's all or nothing now, and really they don't have a whole lot to work with. Overtime, they do manage to contest with two, but they're going to get cleaned up immediately. Not long for this world. And there really isn't too much hope here for the Defiant to contest once again. Not going to make it in time. Ivy was so close.
Now we will go to the second stage here of Busan, with Toronto needing to...
True. We will have the big beef, the goats, the 3-3, whatever you want to call it. It's 3 tanks, 3 supports, and a little variation with Moira.
Okay, so little different styles here. NYXL, still running what they ran last time. And speaking of running, they will be running right back to spawn to switch up their composition.
What do you got in store for us here, New York? It's time to have fun.
They're just going to mirror it.
Oh, there you go. Zarya's in play. Keep your eye on the pink hair. That is the key hero going into these fights, the big damage dealer. And once Graviton, the ultimate, comes online, that's a huge team fight ability as well. So keep an eye on them. They're going to be the linchpins here, the focus. And right now, just crashing into each other. Head to head, both teams in a standoff, trying to wear down each other's shields. Ivy doing a good job right now. A bit of the angry bees there. But so far, it's going to be New York. They decide to get boosted in, take the fight to them, trying to split up the Defiant, and they're doing a decent job. It's a bit chaotic, trading 1 for 1, but with the Rhine dead, that's pretty much it.
Libero got split out. The Shatter does connect, but not enough. And now we've got a Coalescence. It's very good on this map because retreating paths are narrow. Coalescence does damage, does healing, mainly focused on the damage there. And it comes out.
Well, okay then.
It's interesting because early when Neko was not in this lineup, Aid was playing and he would try to run a lot of Moira. But now it seems like it's not player specific, that it's a Toronto strategy to run more Moira than other teams. And just as I say that, of course, Neko's going to switch on his Zenyatta.
Well, it worked. They got the value out of it, right? The Coalescence got into play.
It charges so fast.
And now you actually have, I mean, you're going to get to mirror JJonak. It's Neko going up against his hero, Hex.
JJonak's everyone's hero.
Fair enough. True enough. But let's see, can he measure himself up against the Titan? We're going to find out. There's the grab, gets chucked in, does manage to pick up 2. Self-destruct combo going through, but the shield is up, and Mano is able to save his teammates. Good timing on the sound barrier there as well from Animo, keeping his team alive. But they do lose the Zarya, and that's pretty much going to be, New York XL backing off. Or at least trying to. Good pressure getting thrown in here. Ryan not able to make it out.
Yeah, very nice play there as they separate him, and that means that he's going to have to wait a second to respawn and rejoin the team. Meanwhile, in control of the point is Toronto, 55% and counting up. That means about 2 fights away. They also have Shatter, and mostly both support ultimates up is the important part. Neko will get there, Roki's already there, and those are critical if you're going to try to defend against a Graviton Surge.
Well, once again, we're going to be keeping an eye on Nene here, just because he needs to get that energy up, that number that's ticking down in the middle of his screen. The higher it is, up to 100, the more damage he deals. So there's the bubble, up to 70, and now he gets to really start melting face. Already going right into it, grab point blank. Nobody there to stop it. Self-destruct going to go through. Doesn't quite find the angle, and Mono gets nailed in the meantime. So New York excel right now. Tables have turned here. Hex, Caster Curse, maybe it's a thing.
Well, they're going to be happy to just stall this out and get to 90. In fact, I might be a little bit surprised if they start committing ultimates here. A little bit surprising, but they think they can bring it back, and it looks like they can.
Big plays, and this is going to be it. The Hail Mary getting thrown in by New York, and it will not pan out. The Defiant living up to their names. Tying the series up 1-1. We're going to go the distance. Well, after all.
Well, this is what you want to see out of Defiant, because we haven't seen them quite at full strength just yet. And like I said, if they can hang with New York and steal some maps and maybe steal a set, then I think it's going to open a lot of people's eyes about how strong this team just might be.
A lot to prove. And already in position, it's going to be New York now. Gathered up, everybody together. Good AoE damage getting thrown down onto him, though. Healthy, as already. Ryan Yakbong is already nearly at his shatter. He's got 50% and counting. That's so big. So quick right off the bat in the fight. So Defiant willing to give ground. They're looking to get that first control, and it's looking like they're not quite going to get it. New York able to challenge in time. And now it's going to be the staring contest.
Still just back and forth, displaced off the point. Moira does so much, just burst healing right off there. You see everyone gets low, gets right back up, and Coalescence already up. It's one of the big benefits to running Moira. However, Toronto's already lost 2 players.
Yeah, they lose 2 players. The Focus Fire now coming in is too good for New York. Just not able to get enough healing going to keep the team alive on the Defiant side, and so New York will be the first to pick up control here. Key for them, especially as these ultimates come online for the XL. Libero about to have that rally, and we've nearly got sound barrier. So they have all the tools in the bank right now.
It's really interesting that they want to run Moira almost exclusively seeming in first fights. You get out there, you do enough healing, you do enough damage to have Coalescence, and they're looking that as the tipping point because it's usually online before other ultimates come. But now you're way behind on your Zenyatta charge, and Neko is right back to spawn.
Very nice call. Good team support, though. The quick rotate coming in from Defiant. Was it a mistake on Ivy's part, or was it good teamwork? I mean, managing to keep their Zarya alive, and so most importantly, Ivy gets to keep his energy. Not going to take him as long to start doing the damage. All right, well, Nene will be backing off. He's looking for the grab. D-Matrix goes offline and drops it straight away. Self-destruct is through into the corner, but good positioning from Defiant. It wasn't the self-destruct, it was the follow-up that ends up doing the damage. 50% on the point and counting for New York.
We talk about ultimates and the economy of ultimates that need to pay attention to. NYXL just used 2 of their ultimate abilities there in that fight. The classic 2 that you use in these 3-3 compositions, the Graviton Surge and the Self-Destruct, won the fight, but they still have 4 remaining online. Toronto with a small advantage has to push it right now.
Yeah, they have to go for it. Rally is going to get used by Stellar to kick things off. Good delay there on Libero's side. Rally of his own, trying to mitigate this damage. Grab goes in. Can they deny it? Shatter up high. No kills. Mono just committing to it, looking to capitalize, but they can't get it done. Roki's going to get the sound barrier out in time to keep his team up, and there are the big kills coming through now for the Defiant. Everything getting thrown in here for the XL, and they still lose the fight.
They had to use a lot there. Toronto still trying to wrestle control back, but NYXL will get off of the points at 93%, which usually means you're about 1 fight away. every ultimate used pretty much on both sides of things. Neko still holding on to his Transcendence, so that's something you generally want to use as a reactionary ultimate. If you get Graviton and you don't have Transcendence, you're in a world of hurt. But some teams have kind of switched it up and want to engage with it.
Exactly right. We have seen that in the past. Mego's getting pummeled right now. Going to get demeched as well unless he gets help, and that's not going to be the case. Out of the mech, goes for the self-destruct, and it somehow works! Ivy and Yakpong out of it immediately, and now New York excel with those 3 kills. They're setting themselves up prime here to take control of the point.
Yeah, this is a really tough position to be in. The only 3 people even near the point are both supports of the D.Va. D.Va's going to launch it in and try to clear up some space and buy some time for the Toronto Defiant to try to recontest.
JJonak like wiping the oil off his brow there. He barely got out of line of sight of it in time. Now he's alive to keep it going for the fight, and there are 3 quick kills coming through, and Defiant not able to contest. Mego looking shocked. He didn't even realize. He's like, oh wait, yes, that's right, we won. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go, Nak.
But there you go. Back to life.
King's Row, here we come. I'd be surprised if we don't see a variation of the 3-3 composition from either team. This is always a map that has been very friendly to tank-heavy or deathball compositions. But Toronto is going to run a Sombra into it. It's one of the wrinkles that we see. It's worked out for a lot of teams.
One of the counters, I mean, if you get the hack exactly. Whoa, that's not exactly how you want it to go, though. You do not want to be eating grenades straight to your face.
Well, that's the alt farming I was talking about earlier. You want to just do as much damage. That's not designed to kill. It's designed to distract and then try to get to EMP as quickly as possible.
And already, New York backing off just a touch. It's up to 33% first tick. The point is split in 3, and so Defiant definitely looking to get that presence going here. Players dropping low on both sides. Envy dangerously so, hanging on by a thread. He's got to hide. And it's going to be Ivy because of the focus, and obviously because of JJonak. Headshot, good night.
You think you're safe with the Zarya ally or the Zarya self-shield there? You take so much damage it cracks, and then the alternate fire volley from JJonak connecting with the head, doing critical damage, and that's how you lose your Zarya player.
That's it. That's how you lose everybody on this team. JJonak just doing work. 1 kill is natural. It's only natural that he draws first blood. Let's get into it, though, as Defiant once again trying to set up a presence on the point. Excel just playing this very patiently. Nene going to be going in. 1 tick picked up for the Defiant, and we will have the opening here. EMP thrown out, but the trance was already used by JJonak, and so New York Excel going to survive for the time being. Ult's still online here for him. And the grab comes out now for Ivy, trying to capitalize on the fact that JJonak does not have his trance. Still, somehow they survive, and the best way to do it is with a strong offense. Count on JJonak to shut down their main damage dealer.
There's so many interesting things to watch in these compositions, but my favorite is when one team is running a Sombra, the other's got Zenyatta, and it's about Sombra versus Zenyatta. Can you get the Transcendence off before EMP comes out because there's a decloaking noise that you hear?
Yeah.
It's on a razor's edge. Can you dodge the EMP and then Transcendence your team? It's such an interesting little interplay. It happens instantly, and JJonak is just—he's beyond words.
I'm a simple man, Hex. I'm a simple man. I just want kills, headshots all day. There have been 6 kills so far on the server. JJonak, he's got 4 of them. So, JJonak in fine form. Definitely no shock there.
Yep, JJonak, #1 in hero damage, #1 in final blows, #2 in teamfight kills.
Number 2. That's not, he's got to step those numbers up, Hex. He's got to pump those numbers up. That is not acceptable. Let's get into it. We've got the grab nearly online here. Nene gonna use it. No. Gets knocked out of position. He's waiting to see, confirm that the D-Matrix is down so he doesn't get eaten. Keeping an eye on things. Shatter goes in. Not going to be able to get the follow-up. He gets it off in time. Self-destruct over the top. Will this do it? Shield is up in time, however, from Yakpong, and he's going to keep his team up in the fight. So we will have success here for the Defiant on the first point. 3.5 minutes left on the clock.
Well, New York has supreme confidence in their abilities, and you saw it there as Nane knew he was going to die. He lobbed in the Graviton anyway, hoping to get a giant combination kill over the top of the self-destruct. You get 4 kills or something like that, you can bring it back. But generally, trades will favor the offense on maps like this as your respawn position is closer. And now we're on to the second half of Hybrid. It's part control, you capture the point, and it's part escort, you push the cart.
Yeah, push the cart. 2 points left. Basically trying to push the cart to A position grants you a point. Let's see. Are they capable of it? Ivy going to be closer to the graph now. So moving through now. New York obviously going to try and dominate this choke point. They want to take a fight early. Already Defiant able to make quite a bit of progress here. And New York are really backing off, giving quite a bit of ground up to the Defiant. So the Defiant have to be feeling good about the situation.
A lot of these compositions are about holding corners. You see right there, they're not going to fight over the first corner. They want to fight over the second. And New York is generally known as a more reactive or defensive team to begin with.
Now they're taking their sweet time. They're savoring it, Hex. Self-destruct over the top. Shield is there, but it's not going to matter if he gets knocked out of position. There's the combo play for the Defiant. 2 kills, make that 3. And well, it's going to be a New York wipe. And this is the issue when you take the fight from so far behind, essentially.
Great.
You get one fight and that's it.
It's always going to be Zarya's and Divas who get the credit for the combo, but really the man who makes it happen is Lucio, using his displacement abilities to knock the shield out of the way. When you see those enormous self-destructs in the kill feed, give credit to our DJ friend as well.
He's just dropping the beats. He's dropping them like beats. I don't know. Let's get into it as the rallies go through. We will have the rallies on both sides. Stellar, the focus fire, though, too good for New York, and he's going to drop. Yakpong trying to hang in here. He's getting what support his team can give him, but the rest of them have to back off now, having lost those 2. So New York just making it interesting, Hex. They took 1 fight on the second point. Now they've got their backs to the wall. No more points to give up here. You got to hold now. And the Graph Online is going to help them do that as well. Take your time now if Defiant. You can wait for the rally to wear off. That extra armor you can see is going to start thinning out the yellow on the bars. Or at least it should as the grab goes through.
Giant grab comes in, self-destruct coming up. Can they displace the Rhyme? They do. Everyone else gets out of the way. Now counterplay coming in for Toronto.
Sound barrier was thrown early. Still 2 kills coming through as the sound barrier wears off for the Defiant. The New York gonna be able to jump on him. All the kills going New York's way now. 2 minutes on the clock for the Defiant. And not quite having all the tools there necessary for the combo. Envy is working on that self-destruct. Would have liked to have it there, perhaps. Could have worked. Instead, we're back to the drawing board here for the Defiant. They've got the trance on Neko, and they will have the rally as well. So 2 key ults to work with as they try and establish themselves on the payload. Once again, New York, as you pointed out, playing it patiently, playing it defensively, trying to wait for Defiant to overextend, to get ahead of themselves. The trance used here to try and initiate this fight, but the grab is going to get thrown in, and now it's on Nene. He will be able to back off in time, and the follow-up is there. The Rhines go smashing into the wall.
It's just such smart play from New York, knowing that Toronto was very likely going to try to initiate with that Transcendence. A shatter around the corner is going to mop up the rest of this, but Toronto was initiated with Transcendence more than once, and also they knew that they could initiate with Transcendence because Neko didn't use it on the previous life, and so why not use it to try to get some initiation? New York plays it back, they give up ground, and then they finally defend.
Only a minute left on the clock here for the Defiant. Another good fight as they have to develop these ultimates to work with. That is the name of the game in this current meta. Ults is what it's all about, and well, they are starting to move forward once again. Payload only just now going to get contested by the XL. Libero deciding to start the party off with the rally, getting everybody in, and then promptly backs off. He's like, okay, we're out. That was enough. And there's the graph. Do we have the shield here to protect? Self-destruct getting thrown out by Mako, trying to counter it. Trying to combo it up with the grab of his own. Doesn't quite manage it, though, and the trance now thrown in.
Jonak sitting safe in the back line, gets the sound barrier, so he's unkillable. Now just try to put out as much damage as possible. Tank's on the way out. We'll take Anima with him. But now we're down to 20 seconds. Crunch time. That's a rough sound to hear when there's 20 seconds left. That bell in the distance means the entire team just got killed.
I guess at least they're all together. They're spawning together. They're spawning as a group. Let's look for the positives here, Hex, right? You know, they're all together, so they won't lose and be lonely, right? You know, at least they're going to go down as a group.
Well, they can rally in here, get a little speed boost, get some armor, and now they're going to be able to fight. Last chance for Toronto.
Possible, but Stellar getting instantly stunned by Libero. Perfect pick to kick things off here. Less crowd control for the Defiant to work with, and down the support aspect as well. Nene finds the perfect flank, gets the grab in, and this is going to be it. New York XL will not allow the Defiant to pick up a 3rd point on this second map of the series. And we will see now New York, what they're capable of on the offense. But so far, Defiant, I mean, they get the 2 points out of this.
There it is.
Exactly, Libero looking for the pot shot. He does hit a shield at least. And then right back into spawn, right back into 3-3. So 3 tanks, 3 supports. Envy, however, will stick to his gun. He's got the Sombra, so we'll see if he's capable of getting some more successful EMPs going into this defense, into this initial hold. New York not wasting any time at all, right through the choke point, onto the high ground. And now they go ahead and they can get boosted in at will. Animo waiting for everybody to rally up, and now it's going to be time to go.
The match within the match is going to be Envy versus JJonak. EMP versus Transcendence. So important how those interact with each other.
Oh man, a little bit more damage there. Roki could have gone down. That was so close. He will survive, however. Envy trying to farm up that EMP will pay with his life. Mako not going to let him escape. Big kill. That's going to slow things down here for the Defiance, and if they lose their tank as well, that's certainly not going to help. 2 ticks picked up just like that for the New York XL, and it's looking like a third. They will get a perfect start here on London.
Envy has died a little too often on this Sombra for my liking. Sombra's got abilities where she's invisible, hard to hit when you're invisible, and she can get out of trouble with a translocation device, which brings you back to where you put it to begin with. So Envy has died uncharacteristically. Sombras usually don't die this often.
Well, that was a nice hack to kick things off. Manages to get out of harm's way as well. But once again, he's still working on this ult. He's still made very little progress. Only at 65% and counting right now. So Envy needs to really get up here because this is going to be a key ultimate leading into the next fight. Shatter goes down as well as the grab. They're just throwing everything into this. New York gonna make the Defiant pay for the audacity of attempting to hold early. That is it. Get out!
Nane's been playing a very good Zarya. You see the cleanup kills there. He's got over 70% average energy, which is a statistic we're going to be referencing often in the 3-3 composition because there's not a lot of damage from everybody else. So how charged up your Zarya is so important. The more charge you have, the more damage you do, the faster you get your ultimate, the faster you get combos. Now Toronto has got to take this fight.
Yep, and the rally's already getting used. Libero knows it's coming. JJonak has got the trance online as well. Ivy waiting for the grab. Already, we're going to see it. He's just holding on to it as the self-destruct goes through from Mako, looking for the opening. Instead, it's going to be Libero getting overwhelmed. Not quite getting the support from his team, and that's going to cost him already. Mono going to fall next, and this is going to be a reset here for the New York XL. They're already backing out. We will lose Mako. Obviously, they're going to try and slow things down before they remove the Pilot Diva.
Pilot Diva, this is your life when you lose your mech. You try to get off the edge, you try to reset and go back to spawn. The other team wants you to take as long as possible. Down into the flames below goes Baby Diva.
And you can see, I mean, well, you can't see, but Animo is already back there waiting to just ferry him back into this fight. Unless you have the all-access pass. If you do have the all-access pass, you could see the map. So, getting in on that, buy it on Twitch. Buy it on Twitch, and already JJonak going for it. Envy is out. But Envy's also going to be able to run, sprint back into the fight very quickly here. Or fly. Going to go for the switch over to the D, but now we're going to have the D-Matrix in play. Sound Barrier gets thrown in here. The Defiant trying to beef it up, and they will survive, at least for now. Ivy, though, dropping dangerously low. That's not going to save Stellar. Too much burst damage getting thrown out by the New York XL. But they're paying for it. They've lost their Zarya. That's going to make life very difficult now for the New York XL.
It's going to be tough sledding, but they have to continue fighting here. You never back off in a 5v5, try to swing away. Self-destruct going to come in without the help of the grab, and now the support's picking up the slack for NYXL as they get a few kills of their own and will grab this point. Still waiting for the Zarya reinforcements. She respawned before they took this point, so she got what we call bad spawns. She's a while away, so New York just going to take the free progress they're going to get now. Nane should be back into this momentarily, but all New York has to do is push it farther than Toronto did. That's the blue box on the ground in the center. That's their goal to win the map.
The blue box of victory. Let's see, are they capable? Well, I mean, of course, it's New York. There's the Shatter hidden behind the cart. Sneaky plays, and Stellar pays for it. There it is. The Shatter thrown into it, but the shield is there. Double kill coming in. Envy doing the best he can to try and save his team. With the grab as well, self-destruct thrown in, and this is going to be perhaps enough, although the New York are still fighting back.
Yeah, but they might get this Ryan on the way out. They do just that. Envy putting the team on his very capable back. This is the veteran leadership that Toronto is going to have to rely on. So they built it around Envy, the team captain, formerly of the Los Angeles Valiant last year, making his return. And they were able to isolate Mono with that self-destruct, so you don't need the grab as long as you can knock down the shield. It's hard for the supports to run away from something that destructive.
So now back to the slow standoff here. New York, once again, patient, could use the sound barrier, but definitely holding on to it for now. Just willing to wait as they whittle down their opponents. Nane does peek forward. He's actually going to get slapped in the face, and now we're going to see, once again, just count on JJonak. New York, you need a break. You need something to happen. Just count on JJonak to open it up for you, and then another hit and shatter behind the cart, goes under the cart and catches the Defiant out. It is going to force their hands now.
New York might just back off of this. They know that Rally just came out and there was Transcendence, so they're going to just try to get their economics in a better position now.
They still have 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock as well. All the time in the world to just move forward. A couple meters. Grav gets thrown in point blank on their side, and that is going to be the big kill. Without the Rhine shield to hide behind, it's going to get very difficult now for the Defiant to mitigate damage.
They only got the Rhine there. They bash him in the back shield drop. There's the counter grab. JJonak comes in last second with Transcendence to save the squad.
The boost as well, but it is going to be it. New York able to clear him off the point in time. The Defiant doing the best they could at the end, but it wasn't good enough.
The Toronto Defiant are getting their first taste of the NYXL, and well, it tastes a lot like Mono's Reinhardt. 2-0 for the NYXL so far at the half.
For the building,
they looked at the data.
Exactly, they looked at statistics instead, and now we're starting to see this was sick. Look at this. They stunned Envy out of the EMP. Again, these highly mechanical plays by New York, they're so class on every single role, but their team play is what realistically makes them the most dangerous.
Honestly, I can't believe that we still see
one. They've been a dominant force since they entered the league, ran into a rough meta in last year's playoffs and didn't take away the championship, looking to revenge that this year. And now we'll see as we go to Temple of Anubis.
Temple of Anubis, and hey, we get to see some Winston play now. At least on the side of the XL, they are going to be starting off on defense. They want that verticality. His leap allows him to get up to the high ground here, and so he could go ahead and just jump on top of the Defiant at any point in time.
Mano's going to be right outside this door, waiting for them to enter, get some entry damage right there. Nothing for free when you're playing NYXL. You want to pass the bridge, you got to go this way.
And it's sick.
And now he forces the re-rotation. Guess who's going to be a bouncer again, right outside the door.
It's sick. It's like first point Numbani. You just stay there. Hey, 6 guys for me to cleave down. I'm already at 46% on my ultimate. Thanks a bunch. So they're going to have to deal with that now, Defiant. He's going to go primal on them pretty soon. Nice crowd control there. A little bit of that space defense coming through, but Mono looking to go ahead and just try and establish a little bit of a point.
Now he's going to chase down supports. It's just the supports up there. Tanks on the low ground separated, but Meko is the first to fall. See if they can get a revenge kill. They do just that, and now the cleanup is there as the supports have to drop to the points. NYXL gets the kills that they need.
Yeah, and the big boss is still here. This is Spirit, at least.
This is really important to get these late kills because they need reinforcements of their own. Speaking of late kills, that is Pilot Diva's specialty. They're not going to do any damage. Envy's going to try to get out. Late kill on Envy, and now NYXL will be at full fighting force by the time it's time to defend again.
That's the thing. Use the stun. Buys you, just a little bit more time to delay things here for the Defiant. They get 1 tick, though. Permanent progress on the first point. So they got that to work with here, Hanks. 2 minutes on the clock, and we're going to find out. Can they get the other 2 ticks and start pushing to that second point? I like it.
Some stats can be talked about as coincidence, but winning 22 out of 23 team fights when Nane gets the first kill, that's just a pattern, right? That's just absolutely bears weight right there. Rotation comes to the high ground.
Shows the depth in the roster. Hey, you want to worry about JJonak? Nane's going to wreck you. Other way around, which way do you turn? Who do you deal with? The answer is you don't. The New York, they deal with you. You're out of this fight. Nane on the high ground right now. Just, go ahead and let him know that he is present, and just, wait and bide your time until JJonak finds a headshot.
JJonak takes out his opposing number as Neko will fall. JJonak's syndrome for Neko. Dying to the hands of Self-Destruct's down, Graviton's down. It is a fiesta of ultimates on the point, but it is all blue in the kill feed. As NYXL holds strong. They shut out Houston on this map, so this is not surprising that NYXL's first point defense is at this level.
That's the thing. What do you do when, Mono, his shield bubble is down. Cool, throw the self-destruct in. Oh, wait, there's a perfectly timed sound barrier thrown in by Animo to keep everybody alive. Bonus HP making all the difference. And New York Excel once again showing that they are masters of every aspect of the game. And Mono, once again, gonna get that cleave going. Now he's got Primal online. And we get to see, are the Defiant going to be able to manage to get a successful offense rolling here? 55 seconds on the clock. And still, once again, forced into the same area. And then once again, we lose Neko.
Yakpun's going to have Shatter Roll. What are you going to shatter? Everybody's on a different plane of verticality here. It's going to be difficult to try to set this up.
Oh, man. What is he going to do? He can't float his way through that choke point.
I think Mono's going to try to spawn camp.
Yeah. How do you get back into the fight if you're Zenyatta? Look, Mono is waiting for him. He's just watching this angle. Like,
Neko's going to try to get back in, but he's just waiting. Mono's not going to let them have their Zenyatta play.
Oh,
Neko! Oh, no!
Oh, man, that's so painful. You might have to go for the Zunyatta just to get in here at some point because the rest of his team, they're going to be dying. He did manage to rejoin, but it's looking good here. Mono able to cut off Ivy from the rest of the team, really trying to crank the pressure up here. And so far, the defense holds for the New York XL, although we've lost Nana. This may be a touch on XL getting a bit ahead of themselves. They will get wiped out in the end, playing games, and this time they got bitten.
The statistics do bear out that if you lose Zarya in your team fights, you're generally not going to win it. Last week, the number was sitting at about 6% as we readjust our statistics. But the bottom line is, even if you're not very good with numbers, like myself, losing Zarya in team fights equal bad. That's as simple as I can make it.
That's basically it. If the pink hair gets trimmed, it's game over. Well, fully charged up Ivy now. Mono cannot keep that shield up. He's going to get melted, and as soon as it goes down, Grav is in. We will have the self-destructs getting chucked into the mix. And, well, we will get a DMAC on Meko, but so far it's on the Defiant right now, trying to hold it out. Animo throws in the sound barrier, and Nana's still alive. He's still going to be cranking out the hurt.
As Zarya down for their squad, and defense is always in a good position. Getting 1 or 2 kills can usually solidify your defensive position because your respawn is right behind that wall. You're going to reinforce way better. Finally, a decent shatter. Where's the follow-up? A nice block charge from Mono there.
There you go with the plays. Sound barrier gets committed, and we have a couple of kills here for the Defiant. New York, once again, have to stay focused. Job's not over until you've got the W. And now it's on Animo. They are trying to back off here in New York and trying to contest one at a time. They will remove Meko. Just trying to buy time for the rest of the team to respawn here on New York side.
They want to buy a little bit of time to get the Graviton out here. Now this is a fight they think they can take. A charge comes through, and with 2 people down there, doesn't even matter what that self-destruct was going to do. The NYXL able to deflect this attack. However, they did give up 57%, of course, in assault maps or control maps, or rather hybrid maps. Every 33% is permanent. You may hear the term tick. That's what we're referring to.
Top of your screen there. Tough break there for the Defiant. It really did look like they had XL on the ropes, but once again, XL resilient as always. Mono with the shatter waiting at the door, the big bouncer, ready to check some IDs. Defiant, though, let's see, they're just deciding to, you know what, if we can't go through the front door, we're going to go through the back. Just going for the wraparound, straight out onto the point, still a choke point, and once again, New York in position to deal with this.
Just going to take the side. Now it's all about fighting around this corner here. You see Mono just waiting for him to come in. We'll do just that before they engage. New York knows exactly how much ground to give. Mono's hit huge shatter so far this game.
There's the opening!
There's another.
So sick, and the follow-up is there. Nana going to go ahead and wipe them out now. Rest of New York collapsing on the Defiant, and the Defiant's going to get rolled, sent back to spawn. Not going to be the team kill by the looks of it, although New York not going to show any fear.
It's a masterclass in Reinhardt play. This is ridiculous. Mono is playing so well. King's Row, he was hitting every shatter. He was blocking every shatter. Down to the minor mechanical plays of charging into a charging Reinhardt so that you both fall down.
Yes.
Taking bullets for your team, staying alive, finishing kills. Anything you want your Rein to do, Mono's been doing. It's been perfect. It's been beautiful.
He's at the top of the Rhine food chain right now, at least. Demonstration. And well, oh, nice fire strike. Once again, he's up to 60% on his shatter. He may have a shatter again in just a couple swipes. Let's see. Push is ready to go through, but the grab is here. Envy just waiting, and he just backs around the corner. Split second opening there for Nane to take advantage of, and he will do so. Big boom goes down, and once again, full wipe for the Defiant.
And
you know, you got to praise Mono with that Earth Shatter, right? You know, he catches Young Pug just ever so slightly out of position. Oh, Envy goes around the corner, boom, instant grab. Nane just does not miss a beat.
It's crazy how efficient New York has been. That was only 2 ultimates that they had to use. On the other side of things, though, well, there's another play. It's ridiculous.
Crouching Rhine, hidden shatter. Doesn't quite manage to get the follow-up on it, but it will stumble, and it will cost the Defiant valuable time. Self-destruct gets thrown in, no kills off the back of it, though. Ivy just needs to stay alive at this point. It's going to be the Zarya v Zarya fight here. Who gets to stay alive to keep that damage going? Main damage dealers for their teams, and Ivy right in the thick of it. 50% on the next grab. We'll see if they survive that long. Yakpong out of the fight already, and that's not going to help things here for the Defiant. Looking like the XL will be able to hold.
Got to get out on the point. Diva's demeched. It's just Lucio's going to be able to get around here. Once you clean up that Lucio, it should just about be a successful defense. No one alive for Toronto to bring it in. And I love what New York did there. Toronto came into that final fight with 6 ultimates up. Absolutely everything. Have very similar compositions on both sides.
It's looking like it. 3-3 again. Coming through here for both teams. XL pausing a moment. But we will have everybody gathered up once again, and they are just going to go straight through the point. Are we going to get a knock and an attempt to put them out of position here, perhaps? It was a try coming in from Roki, but to no avail, and they will be able to back off XL and stay alive. So now on to the high ground. And they're just like, you want to play this game with us? No, we'll send the Zarya in first to just melt your face. Get out of here.
Now they're going to try to jump in as Yakpong a little out of position to deny the entry for free on the bridge. New York with the excellent rotation. Another jumping in Winston, trying to get some damage done, and already Primal up, so pretty decent Winston play.
Yeah, Yakpong played that well. Once again with the Winston cleave, gets that Primal online so quickly. XL, however, doing a good job of zoning him out. Yakpong had to try and play that a little defensively, kind of cut off from his supports. And there it is once again. Who do you need to kick off the party? It's JJonak with a headshot. Libero there to follow it up, and the Defiant now, it's not looking good. They're going to get rolled over here. XL, everybody's still alive. Ult's coming online, and now they get the point. Oh, man, JJonak.
It happened on the last round of this map as well. JJonak, blue arrow towards Neko means that he hit headshots onto the opposing Zeniata. Zeniata's a bit fragile, not going to survive through too many headshots there. And now we've got what we call the snowball potential here. NYXL is in position to use their teamfight win to have more ultimates and push this all the way on their first push. They've got 6.5 minutes.
6.5 minutes to work with for half a point of progress. All the ults online, nearly got the 6-pack here. We do have the rally getting thrown in, but once again, Envy getting caught out. No D-Matrix to worry about, and so that means that the grab can go through. Self-destruct over the top, shield in position just barely, but it will cost Yakpong his life. And New York really taking the fight to the Defiant now. Defiant getting pinned into the corner, pushed off the point itself. And this is going to set New York up for a first tick of progress. It does look like it. Oh. I mean, what can Envy do? He gets taken for a ride.
Is there anything more frightening than a 300 HP JJonak with armor and shields? The rally on him, untouched.
JJonak, the most dominant force in Overwatch.
I mean, does that just strike you as the deadliest man in all of Overwatch? Because it is. It really is right there. That stage. Like, that's the coordination that gets going there. But this is it. Neko kind of looked up to JJonak. Every Zenyatta looked up to JJonak, our MVP from our 2018 Overwatch League season, but stage so they can get used to it, or nerves. Like, these are some of the most veteran Overwatch players in the existence of the world.
And, well, you guys got your hopes up. All for naught. There will be no flashy play here. It will be 3-3. Going right at each other.
NYXL so savage, they're even crushing hopes of the viewers.
The community. Oh, there you go. Well, you know, as far as Ark is concerned, he will be subbing in on the Lucio. But you're right, we will get no Tracer play from Civ. It will be Birgitta. And it will be the Defiant making it up to the Arch. Kind of standard stuff so far, at least. Now going to be New York. Actually, kind of breaking the mold, though. They're going to go ahead and take the fight to him. Not going to let the Defiant get comfortable. XL just going right into it. They nearly pick up a kill, but Roki is able to hang on there.
It's kind of a thing in nearly every sport that if your opponent wants to do something, don't let them.
Yeah.
Just deny whatever they want to do. Wherever they want to be, don't let them do that.
If he wants to live, do that too. Deny him that as well.
Deny him the very breath of life. First kill comes in for NYXL as they will push Toronto Defiant back to their spawn point.
See, I needed like a good deep voice though, because it would really be like the XL spirit, just like you chose to defy me. And this is what you get. So there you have it, 3-0, brutal beatdown. And Defiant looking for more. High ground challenge, not quite going to pay off, and this is going to be really tough here for the Defiant, because now they got to figure out a way. How do we get this payload past the Arch, past this choke point? You're choosing one choke point for another. JJonak is still just like scoping it out as well. He's up on his own looking for headshots.
The rotations have been so good for NYXL. Every time Toronto's trying to push one way and then another, NYXL is just right in the correct position.
There's the graph, sees the opening, no D-Matrix to cancel it out once again. Nene trying to provide the opening here for his team. Stellar going to get overwhelmed instantly. Sound barrier just a split second too late. Counter grab gets thrown in here by the Defiant. No follow-up possible by the looks of things, but they are getting a little bit of progress on that payload.
Yeah, just the tiniest bits. Now, after all of the ultimates are used, Sound Barrier is still up for NYXL. Also have Rally, so 2 support ultimates available.
Don't do that to him, Trout.
Yakpung dies before he's able to hit the Earth Shatter. Toronto back to the drawing board with nearly 90 seconds remaining.
So, I mean, you got to give it to Nane. There was a lot of focus on Mono earlier, and obviously always on JJonak, but you know he's not missing any grabs, Hex.
No.
Every time, it's just like, oh, don't even need to care about this D-Matrix. I'm going to put it exactly where I want it to be.
As a new addition to the roster this year, he's definitely proved his worth. Yet to see some Flower play. Bit of a pause on screen there. Find something here. Buck 17 on the clock as we resume.
Glad to see that Arc, you know, keeping mindful, staying hydrated. Bit stressful up on the stage. Want to make sure that you got all your fluids, your vital fluids. And well, NY, you know, once again, just giving ground. Oh, nice knock on the positioning there. An opening. Well played on Roki's part to try and start things off there for the Defiant. He nearly catches the XL out. XL, though, too quick. Able to react in time, keeping themselves alive. And Nene in the perfect position to melt this shield. Yakpung dropping so low. Somehow survives, though, with the help of his team.
Mono does go down, and that should open things up. But Desperation Self-Destruct comes up over the top. A nice block there from Yakpung. And right now, Toronto finally finds a crack in the armor here, able to push NYXL back. Ivy with a lot of charge. NYXL looks like they have designs on coming back in to stall this one out. They do.
Never say die. That's the name of the game here. Grav goes in. They are not concerned. There it is, the shatter, though. The stun perfectly timed. Well played on Stellar's part, it looked like. Managing to drop that shield in the nick of time for the bomb to go off and to keep his team in this fight. 2.5 minutes on the clock now for the Defiant to get to this payload to the second point.
Well, NYXL had a pretty good idea there that they were going to go in and either win the fight or try to drain some ultimates out of the Toronto Defiant there. But Toronto does a good job of maintaining a few. They've got 2 support ultimates in Brigida's Rally and Sound Barrier from Roki. And Neko should be able to get there as well. So NYXL really just needs to fight and force out ultimates. They should know they need to reset their economics, or their economy rather.
Always the driving force. And well, you hear it, the rallies going through here from the Brigidas. So beefing up the team, adding armor as well. Neko going to be happy for that support. He nearly got killed there, but he is able to survive a while longer. Both support ultimates online, still here for the Defiant. And now we've got the grab as well. XL though, they're getting out there. They're dropping so low, and they're going to throw in the grab regardless. Perhaps a little off on the timing there, considering they got the kill to kick things off. So perhaps maybe a moment where perhaps you're wishing you had that back.
Well, they have won most of the team fights in which Nene gets the opening kill, but I don't even know if I qualify that as a team fight, more of a skirmish. They're going to wait for Mono to get back here, see if he's got a magic shatter in his pocket. He's got 90% on that charge.
He has been doing an excellent job. Exactly, trying to position himself behind. Ivy has other ideas in mind, however. Stun is there, everything thrown in, and the quad goes off. Big boom there for the Defiance, and they will succeed in picking up the second point.
I'm trying to find the silver lining for New York in that one, but they use support ultimates to find with just a great combination. Grab, self-destruct, shatter. You expect the kills that they got to come out of that one. Looks really nice there, and after being held rather handily on the first point, they've just been rolling through second point. New York's been unable to reset ultimates.
They're looking sharp, that's for sure. Defiant now gonna go through. Perhaps that's the strategy for XL, though. You know, they put in some of the players. Well, we'll get into that later, I'm sure, Hex, because right now it is gonna be Defiant. Once again, poking. XL giving ground, just barely. And so long as Ivy is alive, XL have to be on their guard. Grab is about to come online, as I'm sure they're aware, and we will get the grab on the side of New York. Nene gonna go ahead and throw it in. No follow-up, although it looks like Yakpung got taken for a ride there. But we did not see the wombo combo with Mako.
They finally get a kill, and the Defiant are just going to go back and reset here with 90 seconds remaining to try to push that payload all the way to the end. NYXL has Shatter. Last Shatter got absolutely nothing. See if Mono can redeem himself that one, but Ivy with a Graviton. It'll be interesting to see if they want to hold it to try to combo with Envy self-destruct. At 64%, I mean, you'll get there before the map ends, but if you want to take 2 fights or 1 is the question.
Yeah, do you want to put all your eggs in one basket as well? And he's doing a good job of getting the energy going. Thinking he's just going to wait. Self-destruct. Not quite there yet. 75% and counting here for Envy, who is doing his darndest to get it up online. And JJonak, you know, just off on his own, running his own mission. Will get some support, it looks like, from Arc. And so New York steadily giving ground, but making him fight the entire way through. Once again, a monster shatter getting thrown in by Mono. And JJonak there pounces like a leopard.
So close to being able to bring that back, but now, even if they didn't want to before, they have been patient enough, the Toronto Defiant, to have the giant combo left. This will be the last fight of the map, win or lose.
20
as the
seconds.
Ominous music would imply.
And you can feel the tension mounting here for the Defiant. They hear the music too. They know what's coming. They got to get on that point, and they got to stay alive this time. They have to win this fight. So out into it, Ivy. No energy on his side, so he's not going to be too happy about this. Needs to find the opportunity to start charging it up. And there's the grab, counter grab thrown in, self-destructs all over the place. The counter grab, however, does look like got eaten, and the self-destruct over the top. Envy will find success in the end.
I mean, Envy, the team captain for Toronto, wants to set an example for the younger players. What better example than never say die? He's brought back a couple of these fights that look darn near unwinnable. The last fight that was going to happen on Dorado. New York's going to try to come out and stall this one out. They do just barely get there.
Arc doing the best he can. Tough target to take down efficiently, and so they're focusing on the big beefier ones. Mono with the shields getting knocked back. Nane needs to get in here to focus. Trying to stay alive, but he's dropping so low, and without the support here to keep him alive, this is not looking hot here for New York. This is all just about trying to stall it out one at a time. And the Defiant will find a third point. A team that should be dominating, you know, should do in the end. And so it looks like they are going to take it seriously, at least at the start.
They led the league in 4-0s last year, though, so
yeah.
NYXL usually closes out series, but for the moment, they're going to have an Orisa and a Roadhog. And
nope, they're not
never
Hex.
mind.
No, they're not Hex.
Boos
Just
rain down
stop.
here at the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. Boos from NYXL fans who are mad that they're going to run 3-3.
Are you going to get 3-3? That's it, exactly what's going to happen here. And well, SBB getting caught out. I mean, he was looking for the recall, you know, he was looking for that button. He's like, oh no, it's not that. Oh, I'm dead.
I love our fans. I feel like we're on the same wavelength. It's like, you won. Come on, put on a show. Be entertaining.
How dare you?
Not to say 3-3 is not
How dare
entertaining,
you, Hex?
You know.
Heathen! Alright. Ivy, he's doing his thing. Just chucking grenades at shields. And the XL now just kind of floating along on the payload. Doing what they can. Hoping to knock somebody out of position. It looks like they get Yakpung in the corner there, but it's not going to be enough, especially considering they've lost their Zarya. They've lost the main source of damage, although it's fun, I say that when JJonak's on the team.
Jonas.
Just kind of used to saying that, you know, because other Zaryas, but JJonak is, you know, he's an exception. Let's put it that way.
Well, so far, a very good hold for Toronto here. And I think this map is important for him. I already mentioned the record on Dorado, 0-2 so far. Which means I probably won't be playing a ton of Dorado throughout the rest of the stage, but it's something you still got to figure out why this is happening to you. Toronto has been very aggressive on this defense, holding right around the corner. NYXL has found no way in. Mono's got a shatter.
Yeah, and for once he actually whiffs it just right into the shields. Thought he saw the opening. He's going to pay with his life. Rest of the Defiant collapsing on the remainder of Excelsior, and they are going to get wiped out. Relegated back to spawn.
Counter shatter came in. Very nice from Yakpung there. Stellar also used the rally, which is a little questionable sometimes. A rally was one of those ults that gets up there because by the time they fight next, you would think, or New York could force that armor to be decayed off of them.
Well, once again, right back into it. Shields galore, all the barriers, all the grabs, and this time Roki's gonna go up in flames. Big explosion goes off though, and we will get 2 tanks knocked out of the fight here for the XL.
Last second charge on a Mono left him defenseless. He will get destructed. And still NYXL having a hard time getting around this first point.
I mean, Roki as well, he's nearly back in here. With the speed boost, he's going to be rocketing back into the fight. Sure enough, here he is. And so, back up to a full complement on the Defiant side. Need to get Ivy topped up again. Do not want him losing his energy. And so far, they're doing a fantastic job here. The Defiant, a minute left on the clock, and the XL have hardly made any progress at all.
Well, the XL needed to take this map seriously because it's the first time they've been playing Dorado, and you're going to have to play it probably again throughout this stage, and it's just looked really bad.
Could this be a case of specialists, you know, that
Maybe
they're bringing
that's
as
why you bring
BB
them
and
in,
Art,
yeah.
right? Because they've only been playing Dorado, but then the rest of the roster, if they haven't been practicing, you know, is that an effective strategy?
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you bring them in just for a specific map on the same heroes, unless they have a different strategy they just don't want to show yet. That's a very NYXL thing to do, to not give up their strategies when it doesn't really matter.
Bags of sand come to mind. Nane, though, he does see the opening here. Now is the sound barrier thrown in. Perfect timing. Although, as I say that, it's not going to be good enough. Sound barrier looked like it would be the difference maker, but it was a hair too soon. Wore off as the self-destruct went boom.
There's the horn. That's a team kill. The charge at the last second gets him out of the way, and teams have become so good at that combination. Rhines and Lucio's doing the yeoman's work of putting that shield out of position, knocking everyone down, giving all the credit to Diva, but it's a great kill icon. Little bunny ears.
All about it. All about it. Mega looking over the top, trying to find some way to work around the shields. That's the thing, though. The Defiant, they get blown up, they lose that fight. They're still here in time, and we are in overtime for the XL, trading tanks once again to kick things off. Key thing is that the Zaryas are still in this fight, however. So the source of damage is still present for both of these rosters. Meko dropping dangerously low, though. Needs to get topped up. The good focus here from Ivy. And while this is a fight, it's a must-win for XL. They've got their backs to the wall, and that overtime wick, you saw how quick it is. If they leave that payload for a second, they're going to be done. The hold comes through for the Defiant, and they will save their honor in the end, Hex. They pick up one map in the series now as well. And just to get a clear idea of where they stand, at the top of the pack, to be expected. Titans nipping at their heels.